What's up, guys? Matt Brown here for TheLines.com. Let's talk the first of two Monday night football games here on December the 16th. Chicago Bears and the Minnesota Vikings. As always, guys, everything we do absolutely free, so please go ahead, hit that subscribe button down below. Give us a thumbs up. Let us know what's going on with you in this game in that comments section. It is sitting a full 7 now in favor of Minnesota. There were some 6.5s yesterday, so those got wiped out. Everybody coming in and backing this Vikings team over a Bears team whose season is lost and doesn't have a lot going for them right now. Over on the total side of things, sitting anywhere 43.5 to 44, it seems. Probably going to do a little toggling, I would imagine, as we lead into kickoff here in this one. Basically, what you're getting here is a Bears team that has been really, really bad over the last month and a half of the season. Pretty much nothing to look at here to try to give you any sort of idea as to why this team might show up here, might be good. I mean, the offensive line has completely failed Caleb Williams and this team, and now you get the Vikings coming in with the number 1 blitz rate in the NFL, top 5 pressure rate in the NFL. If you look, they get after the quarterback a ton, put the heat on them. And we've seen Caleb Williams really struggle so far this season when the pressure's been put on him. So I don't expect any sort of shocker here in this one. I don't expect any sort of one of these crazy upsets that we've had, early on in the season or anything. And this, honestly, guys, this is a massive game for Minnesota. I mean, we're looking at a team that now, with the Lions' loss, not only could still win the division, could still win get the number 1 seed in the NFC. So, I mean, this is a lot here for this Vikings squad. Another article we have over on the site, you can see Eli's got some same game parlays if you want to go in and take a look at this one. On the injury front, Braxton Jones, starting offensive lineman for them, is out. Ryan Bates is their swing offensive lineman who kind of goes wherever is needed. He is also out here in this one, and Javon Dexter is a starting defensive lineman for them who is out. Rashawn Johnson, of course, a guy that kind of toggles in and out there with DeAndre Swift. And you can even see the only thing interesting here about the Swift, I expect him to go, and the beat writers expect him to go, but you can see like groin injury, a couple DNPs, and then just a limited listed as questionable here for them. On the Viking side of things, true game time decision on Stephon Gilmore, but that's it for them on the injury front. So running pretty pure is this Vikings team when it comes to an injury situation. So, fellas, I opened up I told you I'm not really playing traditional teasers anymore. The prices have gotten out of hand, so I'm just playing these kind of alt line parlays. So instead of like the full 6 points, I'm just trying to bring this thing under 3. So I'm going to only ask the books for 4.5 points here and move this down to Vikings minus 2.5. And then there are a ton of different options that you can go into the next week with. Now, if you want to keep it just tonight, if you're in it for instant gratification, you could just pair it up with the Falcons if you wanted to. Bring the Falcons down to 2.5 if you wanted to do that. But you can see the other options out here. If you like the Ravens against this Steelers team that's going to maybe be without TJ Watt, maybe without Pickens, yet again, you can see Cincinnati is a 7-point favorite over the Browns, who knows, bench Jameis Winston, might be starting Dorian Thompson-Robinson, so you could take this down to kind of the 2.5 number if you wanted to. This line, you could actually go against the Bears twice if you wanted to. If you wanted to bring this Lions thing down to under the 3, and of course, there's one other one here that I was going to bring up. Where is? Oh yeah, if you wanted to take the 49ers up, you could do that and get that on the other side of 7. So there's a bunch of different ways that you can go about if you wanted to just get something open here this week. But I really can't imagine the Vikings, given this offensive line that Chicago's putting out there on the field right now, given how good they've been at getting at the quarterback and how Caleb Williams has really struggled, under pressure this year, that this is going to be one of those games that gets away from them. Sam Darnold's been good. I mean, that's all there's to it. Like, Sam Darnold has been really good for this Viking squad. So I'm buying in to this Vikings team. I really do believe that they're good. Coming over here, and they got juicy since we pulled this up. So I like Jordan Addison over his receiving yards. And honestly, you can probably go to a different book and find 53.5 and get this at a better juice number here. So again, look around, shop around as always. I'm okay with laddering Addison as well in this thing. I'm okay with like the race to 20 on him. I'm okay with the most receiving yards in the game for him. If you go and look, you can see he's really started to get a lot more looks here over the last month of the season. 8 targets there, 9 targets there, caught 4 of the 6 there in that one, and then also 12 targets last week. And you can also see the things that is really good about Jordan Addison too. Look at these yards per reception. I mean, like 20 yards per reception, 20 yards per reception, 13 yards per reception, 16 yards per reception. So the dude's catching balls down the field as well and doing stuff with it after he catches it. And the other thing, if you go and you look, man, Sam Darnold's deep ball rating, according to Pro Football Focus, is one of the very best in the NFL. It's kind of toggling between somewhere in the top 3, between 1 and 3 in the entire NFL. So, I mean, the dude is like throwing a really great deep ball. And of course, Jordan Addison thrives on that as well. You're getting a Chicago defense that is just, there's not much to play for really anymore here in this one. We've seen them kind of fall off as well as this team has looked worse over the last month. So is this defense. And so I'm A-okay playing the dude that's kind of the hot hand here. Justin Jefferson's going to get his, don't get me wrong, but we are getting nearly 30 yards fewer with Addison. And I think as long as we get that same target share that we've gotten over the last month, this is going to be kind of a gift here for us on this one. One of the other things that I do think is at least mildly interesting, and I don't think I'm going to have a full play on it, but I think it's part of maybe like a same game parlay type of deal. Caleb Williams is not afraid to tuck the ball and run it. And what you get with a team that blitzes a ton like the Vikings do is if they happen to not get home, it does create running lanes for quarterbacks that are okay pulling it down and taking off running. If you look, Caleb Williams, a lot of game, like he's a dude that has gotten, 27, 28, 30, 31, rush yards over the course of the season. And I think this is kind of one of those prime deals. I expect him to get sacked a few times in this game, if not several times in this game, but also they're not going to get home every time. And when they don't get home, a guy that's a little bit athletic, you can actually get some running lanes. And so, and further, if this is a game state like I believe that it is, then Caleb Williams is going to be dropping back a ton in the second half. And if that's the case, then that's even more chance for him to scramble and get us the requisite kind of rush yards that we need here for this one. So kind of a correlated play to the way that I think this game is going to go. One other thing I did, you don't have to, obviously, but one thing I did, I think that this Vikings team, despite opening up the kind of same game alt line parlay thing, I think the Vikings could actually run out on this one a little bit. So I'm okay kind of taking some of these alts plus money on the like -9.5, plus money on the kind of like 11.5, all these things like that. Like it wouldn't surprise me to see Minnesota win this game by like 17. So I actually played alts all the way out to 16.5. You can find better numbers than this and whatever. Of course, these aren't full unit bets, right? You're putting the majority of what you want to bet on what you like the best, and then you're just kind of like laddering little bits and pieces from there. But do believe that this could get out of hand here in favor of the Vikings. A couple of turnovers, couple of sacks, different things. And next thing you know, we look up and this team's got a 20-point lead. So not a great chase team in the Bears either. So I'm going to play the Vikings. Not only am I opening up the same game alt line parlay, but also playing them in a ladder situation for a blowout victory. Do love me some Addison stuff, as we mentioned. And again, if I'm doing an SGP, going to throw in some Caleb Williams rush stuff. I think that that's part of a good kind of correlated game plan as how this thing might go. Guys, as always, everything we do, absolutely free, including this Discord up here in the upper right-hand corner. That is absolutely free. You can go in, you can talk this game with everybody out there and see what they think about it. Maybe some other plays you want to get into your account. And of course, talking, not just this, but basketball, college basketball, everything like that over there. So take advantage of that. Good luck on all your Monday Night Football bets.